Rich, for Freeda Foreman. We expected to see her here in Las Vegas a couple of months ago. That fight went away, so the question goes on for another couple more months. What is she all about?
Well, I'll tell you, I think that might have been a blessing in disguise. That enabled her to work on her game a little bit more for a couple more months and get a little more finely tuned. And I think they might have been appreciative of that opportunity, Barry.
All right, here is somebody else with a famous name.
And that is Jackie Frazier live. Jackie Frazier, daughter of Joe Frazier. She's also in the boxing business, and that's Jackie Frazier doing the hitting on her outclassed opponent. Now here is Layla Ali, who's beginning to get some real headlines as well. Layla Ali against Tina Reese. This was in Detroit, and despite going down in that fight, she came back to win and give Dad a hug.
Well, there you saw Muhammad Ali at that fight in Detroit. Layla Ali really may be setting the tone, I think, for all these other daughters and even sons of former champions. Two of the daughters we're going to be watching tonight, Freeda Foreman and Maria Johansson. But she was the first one to step up, and the others, she feels, following on her coattails.
Well, they are nothing, and they need me to get their career started, and that's okay. But, you know, I'm really going to go my own route and do what I have to do because there's no comparison between us.
So she doesn't give them a whole lot of respect, does she?
No, not really. But I tell you, she talks a pretty good game, and she's starting to walk the walk, too. Tonight we'll find out if these other ladies can.
Well, I think that's the big question, and that's why I think everybody is here. Freeda Foreman, though, has not gone into this as a lark. She says this is something she has always wanted to do, and tonight is her opening act. Freeda Foreman is the latest in a stream of famous name daughters who've chosen to pursue this most brutal of sports. When her father took a tumble in the jungle in one of boxing's most hallowed moments, Freeda wasn't so much as a thought. She hopes one day to exercise that.
I know that I can never go and replace that fight per se. I can never fight his style or, you know, just be him. But I do have the opportunity to go back and get a chance to fight, you know, the next generation, you know, Muhammad Ali's daughter. You know, and I feel very confident if the time comes and I will have that fight, you know, I mean, my goal would definitely to be to knock her out. You know, nothing is not anything like revenge. It's nothing about hate. It's just the opportunity's there, and I would just love to take it.
So, with Dad neither endorsing nor deploring it, Freeda went to work in Denver, Colorado. It's not a sport for the faint of heart, and obviously, with the influx of the daughters of the heavyweight legends, it's proof again, the old apple just doesn't fall far from the tree. As to Big George himself, you need look no farther than his website to know what he thinks it takes. It's easy to say I want to be a fighter, but not so easy to do it. Says George, it's so easy for someone to be Ali's, Frazier's, and Foreman's daughters, but to box, that's a different story. He goes on to add, I asked Freeda not to do it, but I think my mom did the same with me over 33 years ago. I did it because I wanted to be on top and help my family rise above it. So names like Ali, Johansson, and Frazier are among those now trading punches. There was Muhammad and George, Smokin' Joe and George, and soon Jackie and Freeda.
I have spoken to Jackie, but since I've been out here in camp, we really minimized on the conversation. I think it's very important that we, right now, especially for me, I stay focused on my career and being in the ring and boxing, because to me that comes first. You know, I respect her and she's great, but, you know, maybe a time that both of us have to get in that ring and battle it, you know, and I look forward to that day if we ever get a chance.
Novelty act or promising future, the real deal or capitalizing on a famous name. Freeda Foreman says she's serious, she's a fighter, and she'll do it, by George.
He has been a great inspiration for me coming and doing this sport. Two things he's always instilled in me is that you should always follow your dreams. You know, that's the main thing, because if you don't follow your dreams, you'll never be happy. The second thing is, you know, there was a lot of people saying, well, you know, these girls coming out, they don't have any, you know, training, or it's just a gimmick, or this and that, just one bad thing after the other. And I know I can't speak for them, and I can't speak for anybody else, but I can speak for myself, and I'm a hard-working girl, and, you know, anything I put my mind to, you know, I give it 100%.
Well, the simple fact is, Rich, that perhaps the closest Freeda Foreman has ever been to a championship is being in the second or third row at one of her dads, but she's treating herself like a champion here. She lets her opponent cool her heels, and now she's going to make a famed ring walk.
Right, she's coming in right now, right behind Larry Goosen, her trainer, who's been training her in Denver, Colorado at high altitude. And I would imagine as she climbs into the ring, because of the fact that there's been a lot of attention given her, Barry, that she's got to have some real nervous feelings right now.
I think so, too. And in Laquanda Landers, she is fighting somebody who does have at least a little bit of experience.
That experience partly has been picked up in Thai-style boxing, Barry, and so she has been at least in a ring before.
And in watching her come into the ring just a few moments ago, unlike Freeda Foreman, she did not seem to be nervous, and as we see her now, she still does not seem to be. She doesn't seem to be awed at all by the moment. All right, right now, let's go over to our partner, Sean O'Grady. Sean, I noticed you were standing right by where these two women entered, and did you notice a case of nerves at all for Freeda Foreman?
I think Freeda Foreman is extremely nervous. You know what? This is not only her pro debut on national television, it's also her amateur debut. She's had no fights in the past. You know, George Foreman, her father, is a very private person. He has no pictures of himself as a boxer around the house. His kids have never seen him in an aggressive manner. He is quite the family man. He's done that for a reason, because he doesn't want his kids to fight. He has 10 children, 5 boys, 5 girls. All of a sudden, his daughter Freeda, who is the one that he is most attached to, because she made him a grandfather. And he doesn't like this, but Freeda says, I'm going to do it anyway. She's got a lot of heart and a lot of guts. This should be interesting to watch.
All right, thanks a lot, Sean. Last night, Rich, you and I talked to George Foreman, and he told us, he said, if she wins the fight, she could use the name Foreman. If she loses the fight, she's got to go by an assumed name.
Well, that sounds a little like George. He's even mixing in a little humor, which with his obviously bittersweet feelings about this whole thing.
You said it, bittersweet. Let's take a look at the numbers, the tail of the tape between Freeda Foreman and Laquanda Landers, and the weight, not a great deal of difference for women's boxing. This would be, of course, in men's boxing, a 10-pound weight difference. Landers a couple of inches shorter than the taller Freeda Foreman, and Freeda Foreman actually is a couple of years older than her opponent tonight, Laquanda Landers. So that said, let's go up to the center of the ring, and the ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr. Jimmy?
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the beautiful Regent Las Vegas, as we have a big night of action in store for you. It's fight time on Fox Sports Net, and it's all brought to you by America Presents in association with the Regent Las Vegas. Tonight's bouts are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Our physicians at ringside, Dr. William Berliner and Dr. James Game. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, Al Bisick and James Cavan. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring the bout from ringside, Al Siciliano, Chuck Jompa, and Dick Houck, with our referee in charge of the action, Jay Nady. All right, fans, here we go with a women's light heavyweight special attraction scheduled for 2-minute rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue trunks with white trim, hailing from the Brew City of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She weighed in at 170 pounds. Tonight she is making her professional debut. Introducing Lightning, Laquanda Landers. Opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner in this 4-round attraction, wearing solid black trunks, hailing from Greenville, South Carolina. She weighed in at 180 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the daughter of the heavyweight legend, tonight making her professional debut, introducing Freeda George Foreman. In charge of the action, Jay Nady, now to give instructions.
All right, do you have any questions? Obey my commands. I want a nice, clean fight. Let's touch gloves and go to work.
Take a look at the rules here, and these are the ABC Unified rules. 3 knockdown rule will not be in effect, nor will there be a standing 8 count. Can't be saved with the bell in any round, including the final round. Just the referee, in this case Jay Nady, can stop the fight. And the headbutt rule, we go to the cards after half the fight. So now we'll see about the nerves of Freeda Foreman, and we'll see about the skill level of Laquanda Landers, and a near sellout crowd here at the Regent Hotel. Round number 1. And a left hand drops Landers just like that.
Well, that was Foreman power.
4.
That was Foreman
Okay.
power. That was in the first 10 seconds of the fight.
All right, you okay? Box.
Well, she says she's okay. Freeda Foreman definitely showing some pop. There's no question about that. There's another combination.
Freeda trying to stick out the left jab. Of course, her dad, Big George, has one of the longest, most powerful jabs in the history of boxing.
Landers just unable to mount anything, just trying to paw defensively. Wild left hand by Foreman and a right hand by Landers.
Freeda Foreman trying to start her attack with the jab, but now she's beginning to flail a little.
Yeah.
Now she goes back to the jab, which is what she needs to do.
Punching at long range. There's another wide arcing left-hander and a slap at that, but it still hurt Landers. Now Landers gets knocked backwards. That's kind of a slip on the printed part of the mat here.
Freeda Foreman said when she first went into the gym in Denver, the first time she got hit, she started thinking to herself, do I really want to be here? It took her a couple of days to really figure out if she did. She decided she wanted to give it a go.
I have an idea she's not going to get hit much tonight. 2-minute rounds in women's boxing, and that's the end of the first round. So we'll take you into the corner of Freeda Foreman. Larry Goosen will be the voice that you will hear.
Opening sequence of the fight, a left hook. The first 10 seconds of the fight knocks down Laquanda Landers. The very opening sequence of the bout. There it is. I mean, that's a strong left hand. And that's right on the chin, and that's a very true knockdown.
Let's go to Sean O'Grady, who is in Freeda Foreman's corner. Sean?
Thanks, Barry. You know, Larry Goosen told me today, he said, we don't know what we have. We don't know how she's going to react whenever Freeda gets hit or hits back. I think now we finally answered that because we know Freeda can land a big shot. She takes a pretty good punch, too. She got smacked a couple of times in that first. Back to you.
All right, we'll see what's in the tank as we prepare to start round 2.
Prepared for that quick right from
No, I don't think so. Landers just seems unable to get loose. You saw her kind of shaking her shoulders and pause with her punches.
Sean made a good point. In women's boxing today, you know, these women really don't have any amateur experience either, so they're basically learning on the job, Barry. That's why at the beginnings of female careers, they will look extremely amateurish, because basically that's what they are. They are amateurs.
That is a valid point. There was a short right hand by Laquanda Landers, but Freeda Foreman comes back with a couple of long lefts of her own. Still, of course, a lot to learn, and much of this fight, quite frankly, looks like it's being shot in slow motion.
Well, Freeda is not fast. That's quite clear. We could see that in the very opening moments of this bout. She doesn't have hand speed, but you know, there have been plenty of fighters who have been painfully slow, but if they had enough power, I can remember once Sonny Liston, who was no speed demon, saying it doesn't matter how fast the freight train is going when it runs over you.
Very good point. Sonny was a wise man, wasn't he? And that wobbles Landers. She's in trouble now and about to go. And another wild right. A left behind it, and she's done.
4, 5.
Freeda Foreman needs to go to a neutral corner. She went back to her own corner, so Jay Nady has interrupted the count.
6, 7, 8, 9.
Not going to matter. Not going to matter. So Freeda Foreman has made her first fight a victorious one, and all those nerves that we talked about are now a thing of the past. And the learning process, of course, has a great curve.
And look at Freeda.
Very emotional.
There's some real emotion setting in here. introducing her trainer who has worked with her on a daily basis for months now, trying to get her ready. And Freeda, of course, having to go through the constant questioning of the media about the fact that her father really didn't approve